Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, this is our other 33-foot disc that we have. And in fact, actually both 33-foot discs came from the same neighbor that we bought the 305 over there off of. And this one here, in fact, he actually put this tongue on the back of it. And I remember talking to him, and he said if he would have done over, he said he never should have made the tongue this long. And so I want to see if I can take and cut it right here and basically revamp it. The problem with it being back this far is when you go to raise the disc up and, well, raise the disc and the crumbler up for transport, because with the crumbler, when you raise it up in the air, the tongue wants to go up in the air because it's tail heavy. Well, with this tongue being long like this, he said what happens is it wants to take and it wants to push the front of the disc way down. And I remember him telling me he had made up some kind of like a brace piece to go in here to help keep the tongue from wanting to kind of fold up, because of the pushing up of the tongue of the crumbler. And so last year on our 30-foot disc, I took and made a hitch on the back of it, and just kept it right here behind it. And folding up the crumbler, never had a problem. And so you get this much tongue stuck out here, you got a lot of leverage pushing up on the back, which pushes down the front. And so I want to see here. I had thought about trying to take all this off the top because it's two big channel rails, but I've kind of changed my mind. I'd actually like to use that part of it. So what I may end up doing is maybe take and you can see he cut it right here to be able to, in order to take and bend it down. There you go, you can get kind of a side view of it. Like I say, what I'm thinking is take and take and maybe bend it down, and then of course put a couple brace pieces going up here to the bottom of this tube for the bottom support. Because he cut and put a couple plates right here, and there's a bracket right up underneath there that he put in that's bolted to. Like I said, I actually like to leave that on there to help to actually pull from. And then of course the channels go on up and they're bolted up on the front on each side. But what I'm thinking is come back here so far, or I don't know, I gotta watch them up against that piece right here. Maybe even just take and cut this here out. With my pliers or the torch, either one, and heat that up, bend it down straight, and then weld a cross piece in with a simple tongue hitch on it. And so I'll just take and cut this back part here off. Got my plasma cutter set up right here on a pallet with the forklift. Been doing a little measuring right here where I got these white lines. I'm going to take and cut it right here, and we'll cut that section off. Right here where my neighbor already cut and notched that, I'm thinking about actually leaving that as is. And right here basically between these two holes, cut down to this and then heat that up and then bend it down, basically straight down on both sides. I don't want to bend it right here at that hole because that can actually form a weak spot as opposed to leaving it straight out like that. And so, and then I'll bend it down and then run some bracing back to this as well as a cross piece to put my hitch onto. Okay, let's start cutting. Switched around to the other side now. Let's go down, we'll cut down to the bottom of the angle on this. Alrighty, there's that part. Now we'll go across. I'll cut this other side here off. Just gotta watch, don't drop down and smack me on the foot. Well, it didn't drop quite as bad as what I thought. There we go. Yeah, that should do. Like I say, I'm actually going to use some of that to make the cross piece and the braces. That should work pretty good. Okay, like I say, I'm going to now, let's see here, I want to take and cut between, I'm going to cut down the side here between these two holes and we'll bend that down. That should be low enough. Like I say, I kind of actually want to leave this part. Since he's already got that all plated and braced up, we're good to go here. Okay, I'll grab my pliers and we'll cut down here and cut down here, then bend that down. All right, we're down here to the bottom of the angle. Let's do the other side. Alrighty, that should work. Gonna heat this up, that way I can bend it. Just go right across there, heat that up, then bend him down. That should have it. Well, I thought I had that heated up enough, unless possibly, oh, you know what? There's a little chunk right there that the plas missed. It's not going to bend until I break that. Alright, I got that broke loose, getting it warmed back up here. Let's see what happens. Huh. I guess if I ate a few more Cheerios, I might get a little bit fatter to help push that down. But I can't shut that thing down, I'm not heavy enough. Well, I guess either Cheerios or donuts, one of the two. Walk around look like old Boss Hogg on Dukes of Hazzard. That is approximately straight down 90 degrees. That's what I want. And like I say, probably what I'll do is I'll put a brace piece welded in from here down to here, and then of course additional down here on the bottom. Now I gotta do the same exact thing over here on the other side. Just got done getting the right hand side down, so that's got them bent down straight down 90 degrees, which is what I want. And now, let's see here. I'll take and cut this brace arm piece here out. In fact, actually, I get looking at that, I may be able to use some of that to make a brace angle piece to put in between here and here for additional stability. Well, we'll get that cut out, and then I'm going to take and measure a piece of angle, one of these here, to put, well, let's see here, probably on the back side of this. That way I can take and come up and actually weld into it and that kind of thing. And yeah, I'll probably take and put it right across the back, clamp it across the back here. That was actually pulling on this angle. And then of course now I'll weld some additional bracing up to the bottom of this. Alright, I just took and cut a 20-inch piece out of that, what was left of the tongue right there. I took out of this section of angle right here. I want to put it over here. Let's see if I can get it butted up and maybe hold the camera at the same time. Well, you might sit there until you fall off. Wait and see. There we go. Okay, right there's what I'm wanting to do. They can put that in there like that. Weld down here, and of course, weld back in there on that back side as well. Now let's see if I can get my big clamps put on there. Hold it in place. That's not going to work. I had to take and open him up a little bit. Okay, there's that one. Let's see if I can. Yep. GoPro's in the way, gotta move you. There's with both clamps on it. One on each side. That's just sitting up there. But yeah, like I say, I will take and across the bottom from here to here, put a piece there, put a piece over there, and weld it to that. That way it can't go anywhere. Now for that, I may actually use some smaller piece of angle that I have, just because it's kind of a tight, because I'll actually run clear across, and that way I can weld on the front side up here also. And so if I use a little bit smaller angle, I can take and run clear through there, because there's not a whole lot of room on each side, and that should work. Okay, that's got the cross member piece in. Got my welder set up here. I want to stick weld this because stick welding is a higher tensile strength than MIGging it. So got my grinder. I'm going to grind out these corners, and I'll go ahead and weld that, and then I will be ready to take and put. I've already cut my angles, my two angles in here to bottom support, and we're ready to roll. Getting these two extra channels put down there, about like that, approximately. Well, that's not gonna pinch. Not wide enough. Well, I might not be able to use them. These might be too big. I got one side in using a smaller pair, but they're able to come in from this way, and these here have too big of a handle on them. I can't make them work. Well, I guess we'll just do one side at a time. Okay, I'm going to get the welder fired up and start welding. Okay, I've been trying to get my heat set on this thing. Not too awful bad. I actually want to go over and actually re-hit that. Down here toward the bottom is where I just finished up. I want to re-hit the top. I gotta get my hammer and knock some of that slag off of it.